I'm Jane McDonald, an HR business partner at Equans. In the past, I spent 13 years in the Royal Navy, the Women's Royal Naval Service. I was a writer, which means that I primarily did administrative work in a variety of places and locations, and that included things like personnel records, pay, working at the Ministry of Defence. I also at various times worked in tri-service teams with the Army and the Royal Air Force, so there was an opportunity to understand the different ways that people work and adapt to those ways and learn about the diversity that many workplaces have and get into grips with that. So today my role at Equans in human resources is primarily about supporting people, but also acting sometimes in the interests of the business. So it's all about balance. It's about providing advice, problem solving, and generally being alive to what's going on in the company in a broad sense, as well as within the area that I support. And I can see some similarities there with my life in the Navy. The transition wasn't always easy. I had to stop thinking in terms of rank and structure. I also had to stop using naval slang, although even now it sometimes creeps in. But over time, I was pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of the skills and experience I picked up in the Navy were actually transferable into a civilian workplace, and that's become more noticeable, I think, as my career's gone on. And I really do think that my time in the Navy put me in a good place in terms of the structure that we had and the way we used to work. The other thing about being in the services that I really enjoyed was the camaraderie. That sounds a bit of a cliche, but it's definitely true. You're living a relatively cocooned life in many ways, and it's nice to be surrounded by people who are in the same boat, pardon the pun. But I have to say, happily, particularly here at Equans, I find that kind of camaraderie still exists, which is good to know because it makes coming to work a lot more pleasant. So to any veterans or reservists out there who might be thinking of joining Equans, I would say come and talk to us. Let us help you see how you might fit in. You might be surprised at how much synergy there is. I certainly found that when I left the Navy. Equans is fundamentally a place where you can be yourself, build your skills and never stop learning. And for me, most importantly, you can bring your sense of humour to work.